Hello everybody, welcome back to another session of Let's Play Dragon Age RPG. This is our third session. I don't know if I ever mentioned this, but there is a name to our campaign, and it is called Dragon Age Intervention. You guys will probably find out later on why it's called that, but that will be something that the players and the characters will realize as we progress through the story. So, as usual, I am going to begin you guys with a warm-up question. So your warm-up question for today, some of you might find this easier to answer than others. Now that your characters have officially met each other and are starting to get to know each other, at this moment in the story, which of the other three PCs does your character trust the most? And which of the other three does your character trust the least? And why? Who would like to begin?
I can begin.
Okay, go right ahead, David.
Okay, so I don't think this comes as a surprise for anyone. First off, the one Maximilian trusts the most is Lee, the big guy.
The budding bromance, yes.
Yeah. Honorable and trustworthy and has shown nothing but respect towards Maximilian. So...
Oh boy, once he discovers his bro's secret of being a rogue.
Yeah, David.
Well, we'll see.
David, I'm assuming you've decided what, if any, preconceived notions, either positive or negative, Maximilian has with the Canary in particular. I'm assuming you've thought about that. So I'm going to be very curious to find out how that plays out, if and when he finds out.
Of course.
Okay?
And, of course, least is Delwyn.
Of course.
Which he just views as an anarchist. So, nonchalant, disrespectful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alrighty. Thank you. Who would like to go next?
No thoughts on my character? And then there's the Elysian. Yeah. Don't like Elysian.
Do you want to go next? Would you like to go next, Ray?
Unless anyone else wants to go.
Well, why don't you go ahead? Go ahead for it. You go second.
Okay. That's different.
Who do you trust the most and why, and who do you trust the least and why? Or your character, rather.
My character is interesting in the way that he understands trust and whatnot. It really, for him, it takes a lot for him to get to the same level of trust, but he has reasons. So the way he thinks, he has different reasons and why he trusts people with certain aspects of what they different like aspects and whatnot for them, why they could be useful and whatnot for that. Because the way he sees it, if any of these people were really that bad, how much he can trust them, that he would trust a typical person and whatnot, or anyone that isn't even like amicable to him and whatnot, is in different respects. So he treats it on a case-by-case basis. But the person he feels like, in general, that he can rely on to get things done is the guardsman. The person that he feels like might be the most able to take the time to listen and stuff like that he's gathered, because he's very honest with that, is Lilden. The one he knows he can trust with his magey secrets and whatnot and stuff, but gets not 100% sure if that when push came to shove, if he would push him in front of the Templars and run, is Delwyn and whatnot. So he has a bit of a brotherly camaraderie sense with that one, just because he's another mage, and clearly an apostate, or at least an escaped circle mage or something. So really, in the end, you could say that he trusts everyone about the same and trusts no one about the same, but he knows he has to work with these people because of the situation.
But because now I'm going to ask you a similar question that I asked David. I'm assuming, and if not, then this is something for you to think about, Ray. What, if any, preconceived notions Gwenaëlle has with apostate mages, knowing that you are a circle mage? So, you don't have to answer that question unless you want to right now. You can if you want to.
I'll do my best to answer it a little bit and whatnot, because it's pretty complex and whatnot.
Yeah.
He actually does kind of believe in the circle because his mentor, Eveline, really believed in the circle and whatnot.
Yeah.
And even though he didn't have the best experience there, he knew it was possible to have it. And he did have good people there. He made a few friendly acquaintances, however few they were, and he had some really close friends there. but he'd understand the complete not wanting to be in there, but he feels that it's a dangerous path and whatnot. So it's not that he dislikes him, he fears for apostates a little bit more, I would think.
Yeah.
Or something. It's really hard to say because he's never really met a apostate how he sees them. He knows, like, he doesn't count, like, Dalish mages as apostates in his mind and whatnot.
And in general, between the three characters, is there one in particular that you would consider Gwenaël trusting the least? Just in general.
The person he trusts the least is unfortunately Lilden.
Lilden, okay. And why is that?
Okay.
Lilden, though nice and whatnot and stuff, he hides his identity and whatnot. He's actually very evasive and whatnot. He's just kind of like, he makes nice guys for that, but nice can be deceiving sometimes and whatnot. And he's trying to work with the group and whatnot, but there's several reasons that could be. He can't quite put a pin on him, so until he can get that, he doesn't. He can't really trust him. His character is a bit more evasive.
Whereas with Delwyn,
while directly evasive and whatnot, like the person's like, no, I don't want anything to do with it, compared to Gwenaël. I mean, not Gwenaël,
right.
Delwyn, and so that Gwenaël.
Whereas with Delwyn, Gwenaël knows that Delwyn's trying to hide something, but you understand that because he's trying to hide the whole magey thing, so you get it.
Yeah, once you figure out that helped a lot. Also, but it's still like the person. He still Gwenaël still hasn't gotten a pin, like in the case of Delwyn, if they would throw them under the bus if they had to. But at least he knows that there's a chance that this person may throw him under the bus when put in that situation. Because they probably would figure out that he was a mage, but never said anything until it became really obvious.
It's like the difference between a neutral evil and a lawful evil. You know when a lawful evil is going to keep their word, they're going to keep their word, but you never know when a neutral evil is going to throw you under the bus.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's.
So it's like, when you know an evil, you know an evil. So it's like, you know that this is what they're capable of, whereas an unknown is a lot.
Yes, I don't know what Lilden's capable of. I have some suspicions of what Delwyn is capable of.
Right. Okay. That sounds great. It makes sense to me. Okay. The other two, who would like to go?
Yeah, I'll go.
Go ahead, Shout.
It's actually pretty interesting because much like Gwenaël, Delwyn does trust Lilden the least. Mostly because anything that he's spoken has been very short and to the point. There's no more information than is necessary. And being the type of person that Delwyn is, he knows that that's the kind of approach you take when you're trying to avoid giving information that you don't want to give.
Right.
So it's not distrust in a I think you're gonna throw me under the bus kind of thing, but it's a suspicion. It's kind of holding at arm's length and going, until I know more,
right,
I can't completely put my hands kind of thing. Funnily enough, Delwyn trusts Maximilian the most.
Huh, that is funny.
Yes, he is a guardsman. He is a man of his word. He is very clearly the type of person who wouldn't lie, cheat, and steal. That said, you can trust him to keep his word.
Right.
Just based off of the principles he upholds.
He's more of a known variable, is what you're saying.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't like what he's doing, but you know that that's
and until Gwenaël proves himself to keep Delwyn's little magey secret, that's kind of an on-the-fence thing.
Right.
Oh, come on. I surreptitiously handed you mana potions and stuff.
I know. So this is the bar, and you're leaning this way a bit towards the trusting area.
Yeah. And I think I would also reiterate, again, because you are on the apostate side of mages, you know, I'm sure you've thought about whatever Delwyn thinks about the circle and the circle mages.
He does have a very negative view of the chantry and the circle and the structure that they provide.
Gotcha. But would you say it's more negative feelings towards the chantry and the circle system, or do you have any negativity towards the mages themselves who are in the circle?
There's it's mostly towards the system and towards the Templars who govern the system. At the same time, there's a sense of why would you choose life? I look down on you because you give yourself to servitude, kind of thing.
Gotcha.
You should just keep
But
on
there's
trying
no
to-
outright
to
hatred
train
towards
people.
circle mages.
And now we come to the one that so far is the least trusted, Lealdin.
Oh, okay.
Go ahead.
Alrighty.
But the one that people trust the most, trust Lealdin. That's the really interesting thing so
Yes.
far.
Yeah.
I love that.
confused on where I am on this. Am I on the good? Am I on the bad? I don't know. I would say the person I trust the most would be Gwinnell's character.
Really? Okay.
I trust Gwinnell's character just because, and again, this is totally surface value. I have no idea what's going on. He seems to be the person who'd be less aggressive, less likely to like become very highly volatile towards something if something was said.
Mm-hmm.
Now, and again, Maximilian, I'm despite the fact that he almost killed me the first instant I met him, Maximilian seems like, again, a nice, straight and narrow type of guy where I can rely on him to know what he wants to do. But I just feel a bit more comfortable around Gwinnell than I would Maximilian.
The bromance is only slightly unreciprocated. Only slightly.
Who knows? Next part, who knows what could happen. But yeah, the door's still open.
The door's still open.
So
straight and narrow, huh?
And person that I trust the least.
Yeah, the person you trust the least
would be Delwyn.
Okay.
Can we really be surprised at this?
No, not really. Not from because of me, I'm seeing Delwyn as the person who out of everyone, he seems to be the person who cares the least about everyone else. Delwyn seems to be only caring about getting himself out of the situation, I see that he's helping us, and this teamwork is only to an extent.
Yeah.
To which he can duck out or something.
Right.
Is how I'm seeing him at the moment.
Delwyn
ride the party as long as he can until they've become useless.
Yeah.
Yeah. Delwyn's a little bit of a wild card.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, this is really cool. I'm glad we had this conversation because it's really neat to see how the chemistry between the four of you are forming, and just watching. It's just neat to see how the whole thing about who trusts who and who doesn't trust who, how that intertwines. Yeah. So, okay, cool. Thank you very much, guys. So let us go ahead and move into the session. So just as a little bit of a recap, we have just managed to leave the structure that you discovered is Denerim, which somehow has been taken over by hundreds of darkspawn. And some of the players might start to be gathering an idea of what's going on. We're not quite sure yet to what level the characters are starting to figure out or think that they're figuring out what's going on. But they ended up running into some woman who was ransacking, taking some items from the palace, in which point she made a speedy exit as soon as the darkspawn came a run-in. And you guys decided to skedaddle after her and managed to climb up onto her airship. Now, the image of the airship that I'm showing you right now, it's not completely accurate. This is just the most accurate image that I was able to find in the few minutes that I was rummaging through DeviantArt, because I was specifically trying to find an airship that did not have a balloon and did not have propellers or anything, because it's not being... However it's flying without the use of balloons or propellers or anything like that. It does have wings, and it doesn't look as clean and sleek. So it's a little bit more crude looking. It doesn't look as fancy, but just...
More like an actual sea ship.
Right, more like an actual sea ship that happens to have wings and is up in the air.
And it's been used for a while.
And just to be clear, this woman is not Isabella.
This woman is not Isabella. No.
Ah.
No, she is not.
Are we sure?
I mean, you're not sure, but I'm telling you as the GM, it's not Isabella. So, I actually am modeling the character as somebody else, from Doctor Who, but I'll get into that later. So,
okay.
I did get that vibe. I think I already know who it is.
You probably might already know who it is. So,
Alonzi.
Anyway, so let us move on to where you guys actually are on the ship. So here we have you guys. You're on the deck, and you're on the main deck, and like I said, the last thing that the woman says to you is, "You guys owe me a new rope." And as she says that, you see several of her crew either have their swords unsheathed and have surrounded you with swords at the ready. Plus, there are 4 up here on the bow and stern. There are 4 other crew members that have their crossbows out, and they're aiming them right at you. So, you guys are in a situation where it looks like they are probably in full control of what's going on. And the woman, the next thing that she says as her crew is at the ready says, "Now here's where things get very complicated, because we didn't really intend on having any excess baggage with us during this trip." Do any of you guys respond? One of the crew members next to Delwyn and Delwyn and Lealden are sort of, giving you guys a little bit of a poke, as if they're waiting for you to bring your hands up, to raise your hands up.
Oh.
Yeah.
We have 2 people with their hands raised. How about Maximilian?
Nope.
Okay.
But now we've causing trouble.
Maximilian keeps his.
I raise my hand. I like to raise my hand, staff, and put that in this phrase of finger. If I may. I do not weigh very much. You will hardly notice me as excess baggage. Perhaps we can talk this out. Or I do not want to be down there where all the ducks spawn, no? So we do not have to be hasty. Could you perhaps indicate to put the crossbows down? We mean no harm. Or at least I don't.
The woman turns to your direction. Meanwhile, everybody else is they're watching all of you, but it seems like they're focusing their attention mostly on Maximilian for the most part, but they're still trying to keep an eye on you. The woman turns to Gwenaël and says, "I like your outfit. It's a nice color, and it seems to bring out your eyes. And that's the only reason I'm going to let you talk. You have 30 seconds. Go."
We have been led quickly into a strange predicament. And if you would give us more time in a moment to discuss this, these are new compatriots I have met, and we have absolutely no idea what is going on. And if any way we could help compensate for our stay on this ship, I would be willing to do so.
She responds and says, "I beg your pardon, you have no idea what's going on. Well, let me explain to you. You are on my ship. Problem is, you are not in part of the plan of our extraction project. And my crew members, they don't really like to share the ship. So, let me ask you some questions if you don't mind, dear. Why were you at the castle, and how did you get there?"
A wizard did it.
A wizard did it? What wizard?
I do not know. It is very strange. As I'm being completely honest here, it seemed to be some form of sorcery. And out of nowhere, we were all in the same area. And we have no idea how we got there. I know this sounds outlandish, but it is the truth. Please, believe me.
She's studying you very carefully. It looks like the gears are turning in her head, but it's kind of hard for you to really determine whether she believes you or not. She sort of grins and chuckles a little bit, as if part of her thinks that she's being slightly entertained by the story, but doesn't seem to buy it completely. Then she says, so let me get this straight. You weren't there by your own accord? You just happened to go, poof, there you are? That sounds very convenient, don't you think?
I would call it quite inconvenient for some, I bet. For me, I would say it was very convenient.
I like you, she says. She then turns over to the guardsman. And then she says, well, can't say I've seen that outfit in quite some time. Where did you get that? She says, gesturing to your guardsman uniform.
I am a guardsman of Denerim. How... I only have one question for you, if I may.
Certainly.
And it's the one question that can make any sense out of this. How long have Denerim been occupied by Darkspawn?
She tilts her head as if she was surprised by that question, and then she turns towards Gwenail, leans in slightly, and says, did your friend hit his head while he was on that rope? Did your friend hit his head against the wall while he was on that rope?
Actually, yes, I did bump into him when I fell down the rope a little bit. But this is not, I do not think this is due to that particular confusing question that you apparently find confusing.
She says, out of character, David, your question was, how long has Denerim been like that?
Yeah, occupied by Darkspawn.
She says, how long has it been? Probably about a couple of years by now.
A couple of years?
Give or take.
That's impossible. I was just there.
Once you get a little excited, the two crew members next to you, they sort of get into a position as if they're getting ready for you to attack, and they just seem ready to strike if necessary. Does anybody else in the group say anything?
I'm definitely surprised a bit to hear as well of this time discrepancy as far as how things are set up here.
Lealden, roll me stealth, please.
All right. Let me just find that, and we'll do 3d6 plus 3.
And then she stops, and when she sees Lealden, and she turns to you and says, you there! What's your story? How did you end up with this band of merry misfits?
I was just simply making a withdrawal from the vaults, and poof.
The royal vaults? She looks puzzled.
I'll clarify and say the dwarven vaults.
She brings down her head and she starts to chuckle. You four are so entertaining.
I'm afraid I failed to see the humor in that.
We almost died down there. Is this a joke to you?
I want to look out to leans over to Darwin. Did you call us misfits?
I thought it was pretty funny.
Yeah, you would.
She turns to Maximilian and says, I don't find near-death experiences a joke, unless that they deserved it, she says. But I think I know exactly what I'm going to do with you. I will offer you all an opportunity to stay on the ship for now until we reach our destination, at which point we can deposit you there. However, you're going to have to earn your way onto the ship with a challenge. Should you succeed in the challenge, we will probably allow you to remain. If you fail the challenge, however, you will walk the plank after we take all of your stuff.
All right.
Well, I don't see we have much of a choice, do we?
No, not really.
State your challenge, then.
She snaps her fingers and says, Archer? As soon as she says the name Archer, you see a gentleman emerge. He appears to be dressed in... dressed in an apron with a little chick on the apron for whatever reason. It's a little discolored. He looks very, very sloppy. Clearly this guy is the person in charge of the mess hall, the mess area. And he brings out... He brings out what appears to be a deck of cards, which he's now shuffling in his hands. The crew brings out a table and they set it out on the deck. The woman has a seat by the table and you all arrange yourselves accordingly. And she explains, all right, 4 of my men against the 4 of you. To a game of wits, she says. Every single hand, 1 person will be knocked out. Knock out my crew first and you win. We knock you out first and you lose. Any questions?
Many.
None.
Very well then. Okay, so this is how this challenge works, guys. You are going to be rolling for me. You're going to be rolling for me gambling, which is a communication focus. I wasn't sure if any of you guys took that.
I have it. Yeah, and I even got an enchantment for it recently. Didn't you say?
I believe you do.
Yep.
If I attempt to cheat, can I make a deception check?
Absolutely. You absolutely can attempt to cheat.
Perfect.
Yes.
Anyone else cheating?
If I do poorly.
Nope, I'm playing by the book.
Of course you are.
I'll entitle everyone to a spot check as well. Everyone, roll me a perception scene, please.
Okay. Gosh dang, I hate my mouse being right next to the keyboard. Always mutes it because of that. Perception 2. Didn't ignore that one. I forgot it was 3d6. That's
Delwyn.
Okay.
Delwyn, one thing about the gentleman that she calls Archer, the cook, he appears to be... He looks human, but his ears are slightly pointed. If you didn't know any better, this was a half-breed, half human, half elf. I should also point out that most of the other crewmates appear to be very large-looking humans with grayish skins. Everyone roll a cultural lore. That's a cunning. The target is 12, so that's Gwinnell. And Maximilian didn't quite make it, and so did Delwyn. Alright, so Gwinnell and Delwyn, you recognize most of the rest of the crew to be half human, half Qunari. Ray, the shout should sound very familiar to you.
Wow, really?
I figured since you didn't choose that as your character, I thought I would throw it into the game anyway, just because it sounded like a really awesome idea for you.
Oh boy.
That was one of my original character concepts, actually.
Yeah. A pirate that was half Qunari, half human. The woman, by the way, who clearly appears to be the one running the show, removes her hood, and you see this woman. She appears to have horns. Her hair is cut relatively short. And she does also appear to be half human, half Qunari.
Wow, she is...
I knew Kanari could be fast people.
Yes.
There was a tanky build and be able to run as fast. I knew it. Oh, well.
Ignore this roll. I do random rolls sometimes to decide how my characters reply to things and whatnot. They're not like official things.
This is what I'm gonna do with Delwyn. And I'm sorry. I know Delwyn is trying to be deceptive. Is anyone else being deceptive, or are you playing it legit?
Legitimate.
Okay.
Legit.
Okay, Delwyn. How this is going to work, and I will let you keep track of it yourself, is you're going to roll for me a deception. If you don't get caught, then for every 5 that you get rounded down, you get to add +1 to your gambling roll. If that makes sense.
Oh, okay.
So if you get a 6, that's a +1. If you get a 9, that's still a +1. But if you get a 10, that's a +2.
A bonus to the gambling check.
As in a bonus to the gambling check, correct.
Okay.
So everybody go ahead and roll me your 3d6 plus communication for gambling. And whoever gets the lowest score between the 8 of you, because there's 8 players, will be knocked out. Okay.
Here's hoping my days in the barracks playing cards.
Okay, so what was that exactly? Did that amethyst necklace do again? It gives me a +1 to communication. Then it was something about giving focuses or something as well. I didn't quite get to all of it before it. But one of them was.
Yes.
Something like that.
The necklace. Yeah, let me look that up real quick.
I'll add it on my.
The necklace. It gives you a +1 bonus to communication, persuasion, and seduction tests. It doesn't give you an upfront +1 to communication, period. It just gives you +1 specifically to persuasion and seduction.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so it's not a universal communication.
Okay.
Okay.
That was pretty potent. Okay, so that means I don't get a bonus to this, do I?
Not for this one, no.
Only when you're making checks specifically for waiting or using.
Are we all ready with the rolls?
Alright.
Go.
Okay.
What happens if 2 of us are tied like that, and that's also the lowest?
You might have to break the tie. So we have David at 12, we have Ray at 13, Logan at 12.
I'll make the deception check now.
Okay.
And then I'll make the gambling check, so that'll give me a +2.
I'm rolling for the goons.
So a 15.
Less than 12, please.
No, okay, oh, there's another 12, come on.
Oh my gosh.
Really?
1 less than that, come on. 1, don't give him a 5.
Okay.
Oh, is that all of them?
That was all of them. So it looks like we have a bunch of 12s, right?
I only saw 3 there.
Yeah,
me
I only
too.
see 3 rolls.
Yeah, we need 1 more for the 4th goon.
Oh, yes, the 4th girl I rolled secretly.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, so.
Yes. She's fine. Trust me.
Okay. Okay.
So, yes. So the people who roll 12, you need to roll again. Do a roll off.
There it goes.
Here's my roll off.
Oh, come on.
Ooh, Maximilian.
I'm safe.
Never a good gambler, really.
Too honest, too honest.
Yeah.
Jeez, okay. Felt like survival for a second.
You could have just done a lot of gambling, actually, because one of your introductions was you doing card games.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh well.
But they like...
Running thing that he's not good at card games, so people have to tip it in his favor.
What was your your stealth roll was what again?
14.
Okay.
Your deception is 14.
Alrighty. So it looks like Maximilian is the first to go out during that round.
Okay.
Curses.
Alright. The game continues. Everybody else, keep going. Roll your gambling once again. I will roll my 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Ooh!
God. No. Oh god.
I love this number today.
6. I saw 6.
Oh
no! Now there's 6.
Deception.
Oh god.
That
was...
And then I roll the woman secretly.
13.
Oh, that was scary.
Are you writing in the bonuses that you're getting from the deception, or?
Yes.
Also, I'm confused. What is going on in this game? What are we doing? Is this?
Well,
Gambling is
it's like
communication.
it's a card.
Playing though. I'm
We
confused.
don't. It's just some card game that we all universally know,
Playing a
and we're
card
just
game
simplifying
and-
it down to game rules.
Yeah. We
Is
can,
it Pazat?
Highest number
It
of
might
moves
be
I win
bizarre.
in hand.
I
Yeah.
pictured it was probably the same card game that you played with Isabelle in Origins, possibly. Although that might be more of a duel. That might be a two, like one-on-one kind of thing. So it's one of the Ferelden or Thetis gambling games. It looks like the lowest there was Lealden.
Wait, what? No, the one who had the
You rolled a
6.
6 and
Oh,
an 8.
I'm sorry. You're right. Thank you. All right. So one of the
Like,
henchmen. No, you're fine. One of the henchmen is out.
Okay.
Okay. So it's 3 and 3.
Come on,
Alright,
guys, you can do
1,
this.
2, 3. Those are my rolls. And then
Alright,
one
let's see.
for. Okay.
Okay, I'm good still.
Deception. So
Mhm.
1 and 2 and 14.
Okay.
That's another goon out.
That's another goon out. Okay. So now we've got the captain. We have Archer, and then we have 3 of you guys. Delwyn, during that last hand, you catch a sight of the captain looking towards your direction, and her eyes kind of crease a little bit, but she doesn't say anything. You move on to the next hand.
During this next round, can I make a seeing check to see if she's BSing us?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, what if I didn't think about that.
What's this? You guys not playing fair and square?
Pirates? Oh, I would never.
No!
Am I allowed to make a perception check as well in case hers fails?
Yeah.
Can we all
Also,
make perception?
I mean, I have this freaking focus and seeing, so.
Yeah, go right ahead. You can go ahead right now.
Okay, let's.
But she's giving me eyes like I know what you're up to.
Holy crap!
It's the same stat, but this one is my perception check, and it fails regardless. So didn't see anything.
I see everything,
I probably see nothing.
as usual.
Gwenail, just
Oblivious.
during that last hand, after the win, you did see the captain. She basically like scratched her nose with one hand, but in her other hand, you saw her pull something out from her waist as she goes back to her cards. Sort of like a little switcheroo almost.
Mm-hmm.
Do you do anything before the
So it
next
looks like the
round?
captain, the thing is, it looks like the captains might be cheating.
I'm sorry, what are you saying?
So you're saying it looks like the captain might be cheating?
Gwenail says that out loud?
No, I'm asking you.
It does look like the captain might be cheating. At least for
So
that
I
specific round.
I'm glad to know that we're having a fair game. Captain?
She says, fair. I've had better. But yeah, I would say it's rather fair, as games have gone. Next hand, and then the cards get dealt.
Okay.
Yeah, as this conversation is going on, I'm like, totally clueless. What?
So Max is just like standing to the side with the other goons or whatever. Or...
Yeah. Oh, I
Right,
forgot that
arms
2 of the
folded.
goons. Sorry, only the first. I forgot that I been running out of goons, so only the first roll is Archer. The first
Aw,
one that
dang
is
it.
Archer.
Because that 1-4, that would have been really nice earlier. There we go.
I am really good at gambling.
I am exceptionally well this round.
12, 17, 12.
So I think Archer's out.
Archer's out. All right, it's only the captain and
Us three.
captain and you 3. The captain,
Okay.
before we move into this round, says, you're very, very impressive," she says. The goons that basically were taken out seem to be rather ticked. They're very, very ticked.
I imagine my character actually does have a very good poker face. I mean, that was part of my description for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice.
At this point, I'm just like, I'm really, really tense.
Yes.
My hand is like almost touching the hilt of my sword, just in case things go south.
As you go, Maximilian, as you have your hand close to the hilt of your sword, you hear the sound of one of the half-Canari clear his throat. And if you look in towards that direction, you see that two of the Canari still have their crossbows pointed in the direction.
Right.
I have like beads of like little sweat. I'm just like brushing like past my hood to like.
Considering how well my character's been doing, he's perfectly calm and like.
Yeah.
Next round, you guys go ahead and roll.
Like, this is fun.
I'm not used to gambling. Done things, yes, not gambling. Let's go.
Oh dear.
Damn it.
Uh-oh.
Oh, she's making a comeback.
I attempt the seeing check for this round.
You attempted what? I'm sorry?
Can I attempt the seeing check?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I want to do a seeing check to see if anyone's still cheating or not.
I have no idea, but I'm watching her like a hawk because she knows something.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not gonna try my
That's your seeing?
this time.
Yes.
You did not catch her do anything suspicious.
Oh, good. She caught my drift earlier, apparently, so I don't see anything either.
Okay.
It's actually a stunt, so let me go look this up.
Oh yeah, the doubles game.
Who are the people that are left playing with the captain? Is it Lealden and Gwenail?
No, I rolled out.
I haven't made a roll.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's Gwenail. Sorry, so it's Gwenail and Delwyn.
Deception.
Nice.
So that'll be an extra 3. Yeah, I needed that extra 3.
Yes. Okay. So it looks like the person who's out is Gwenail?
No,
it'd be me because I rolled the 7. He rolled the 8.
Oh, Lealden. All right. So it's
I'm
down
out.
to 1 against 2. This is getting really exciting, ladies and gentlemen. Those of you at home, I'm sort of modeling the captain's personality to River Song in Doctor Who.
I knew it.
Yeah. Similar in personality. Okay. So,
You're going to make my character have a crush on this character by the end of it. Books, River Song, all this stuff, and whatnot.
Yes. Okay.
He just got done admitting his feelings to Jodie and whatnot, and is already making him feel awkward.
Yes. Well, I already rolled for the captain.
So yeah, for that seeing check, I'm gonna use a 4 SP cost stunt.
Okay.
Basically, the manner of your success is impressive to those nearby to watch you. You get a +1 bonus to any opposed tests against them until a venue change or time change.
Gotcha. Okay.
So
for the rest of the ship.
Okay, I got it.
So now my deception checks, I get to add 1. She's the only one left, so all of my rolls against her.
Yep.
Hooray! Okay.
It's down to the scholar and the monk, I guess. The scholar and the street fighter.
Yes, the brawler.
Or I'm sorry, the scholar and the K-pop artist.
Yes.
It looks. I don't know.
We need to have a Thetis. We need to have like an Asian sector in Thetis. Like there has to be like some sort of
Tokyo
Asian region.
Metropolis.
Alright, so now we're rolling for the gambling, right?
Yes, rolling. Go ahead and roll for the gambling.
And I'm standing next to Maximilian going, tough break.
Oh, me.
You did, but Delwyn did not spot her doing anything.
Is that what's your +1?
Yeah, that's what the +1. So
Okay.
3.
Yeah.
That'll make this 6.
Mm-hmm. Very nice.
Oh no.
So, the captain says, "It's just you and me now, dear." As you see that we see Delwyn and the captain facing each other. There's a lot of tension amongst the ship, and the crew are at bated breath, trying to figure out what's going to happen, whether the captain is actually going to be able to take down this blonde, pretty-looking elven thing.
I make like a sort of an aside, whispers sort of to Maximilian, going, "If she loses, what do we do?"
Be ready for anything. I'll take the one to the right.
I'll handle the one that I can on the left.
Stand behind me. Getting ready. Just making sure the shield is nice and light.
Just like, flexing the hand muscle, just, preparing.
As long as we know she's going to go through with it. If not, let's just stay cool.
Alright.
So, honey, she says before your hand is dealt, let's make this really interesting.
Okay.
And she says, let's. I feel that you all seem to be relatively entertaining people. I can deal with that. So let's make a deal. She says, if I win, then I get to make a special request. If you win, you get to make a special request. What would your terms be? Just out of curiosity. Within reason now, dear.
So I can't have your ship.
Probably not.
I was gonna say that.
Well, as a gesture of a good friendship, I will turn to the rest of the party and be like, what do you guys think?
I say in Orlesian, they were both cheating.
You say that out loud in Orlesian. Okay.
I
Does anyone...
I don't say it very loudly, I say it a little bit quietly. It's like, they were both cheating in Orlesian.
Do any of the PCs know Orlesian? I don't think any of the PCs know Orlesian.
I only got trade tunk.
Yep.
So you hear Gwenaël respond to you in Orlesian.
That's not helping me any. I don't understand your fancy tongue.
Well,
If I win, what do you guys want?
I would like some answers.
Fine. If you win, I will be able to answer whatever questions you wish. If I win, she turns to... Go ahead.
I would like a comfortable stay for all of us here, and that you will answer our questions as, say, over Captain's dinner.
I have to agree with my little Orlesian friend. See, if we get to stay on here, I don't want to be pushed around by your men.
She says, very well, you'll have to understand that if we do end up agreeing to those terms, there will be certain parts of the boat that will be off limits.
Obviously.
I'm sure we can manage to keep you fed until our voyage is over. But speaking of dinner, if I win, you and I will have our own private dinner, she says to Delwyn.
Can't disagree to those terms.
Delwyn.
She nods. Very well. Deal the cards, Archer. Archer deals the cards out. He looks very nervous.
Yeah, I bet everybody looks fairly nervous except the two people playing.
Because the two people playing are going to still be freaking having a dinner with what happens.
Now that I'm not distracted by the game, I'm making a scene check for everything.
Delwyn, if you'd like to make a scene check, you are welcome to it.
Right.
And I get a penalty to what rolls? What type of rolls against you?
You won't get a penalty to anything. I'll just get a +1 to my rolls against her.
Yes, you can go ahead and do that.
Scene check, so finally. 12.
To your spot?
Yeah. I don't see much.
I'm also taking that stunt that gives me the +1, just in case at some point.
If anyone wishes, they also can do a spot as well. If they wish to see.
I'm actually gonna do it this time.
I'll try.
Let's see. Was that cunning?
That would be
Perception.
Oh,
yes. Perception.
Ah, dang. I'm not good with this.
Nope.
He's
Everything is
got
going
sweat
alright.
dripping in his eyes at this point. They're so tense.
That is a bird over there.
You can't believe we're on a flying ship.
Guys, we're up in the air.
Just realizing, oh my god, this ship is flying!
Okay, here's the deception roll.
Okay.
Wow, that's... You've been rolling crazy bad on those.
Yep.
3 and then 6. That could have been better.
Come on.
Is that you seeing or your deception check?
That's my gambling roll.
Ah.
Okay, that's your gambling roll.
Well, you got a stunt!
No, that's not a stunt.
That's
Okay.
a +6, not a 6.
You
Damn.
don't catch... Nobody catches the captain of doing anything bizarre out of the ordinary. When you reach the point where it's time to reveal your hands, the captain says, "You first, dear." Do you respond by revealing first?
On the count of 3.
Fine. 1, 2, 3. You show your cards, and as everybody leans in to see who ended up winning.
Nope.
I'm trying to remember poker. I feel like Delwyn would have gotten straight. Let's say Delwyn got a straight, and the captain got a full house. Is that beat a straight?
I don't. Let me see. Let me look up.
I think it does.
I believe. I guess simpler would be Delwyn getting a straight and she whips out a straight flush.
Yeah. She whips out a straight flush. The captain begins to rise up, and as she begins to rise up, something pops. Something pops out of her, out of her chest.
Yeah.
It appears to be a neck. She's wearing something around her neck, and it appears to be a talisman with interesting-looking markings, but there seems to be half a piece missing.
Well,
Lealden
do I notice this?
Lealden notices this. The captain is about to probably give her orders to throw you off the ship, with the exception of Delwyn, because she owes Delwyn dinner. But if you want to stop her from saying something, anyone can really say something before she speaks.
I step forward. Wait! Okay, I raise my...
She's in mid... She has her mouth open as if she was about to say something. She turns to you with a very annoyed look on her face. What do you say, Lealden?
That amulet. Where did you get it?
She looks down. This thing? None of your business. She looks very irritated and perturbed.
And then I take out mine and says, I think this shows that it is my business.
Her eyes grow wide as she sees the amulet, and the crew looks very shocked, and they turn between the captain and the amulet, and back to the captain and back to the amulet, studying this very carefully. How did the other PCs react to this? You basically see something. You see Lealden pull something out of his necklace, and it seems to match exactly what she has around her neck, only it's 2 different pieces.
That could potentially be the one of the same original thing.
Delwyn's eyes kind of shift up to Lealden the minute he raises his voice, because it's very uncharacteristic of him.
I just have my hand reaching for my sword, and then just stop inches away when he raises his voice.
The captain remains silent, her jaw agape for a few seconds, and then she says in a very low voice, "Come with me." She turns to the rest of the crew and says, "Boys, keep an eye on them." And Archer kind of does a little... Archer hasn't spoken this entire time. He's remained quiet this entire time, and he just kind of gives you a nudge to go with her. The rest of the crew surround you with their swords, and you know, basically they're keeping an eye on you while she's going into her quarters.
Now, she said keep an eye on, not keep a sword on. Jeez.
And I follow her.
You will be taken
Alright.
here.
Okay. Okay.
As you enter into the room, Lealden, the captain whips around. She still has a very suspicious look on her face, and she asks, and she says, "Where did you get that?"
I was found with it.
She studies you again, trying to decide whether or not that's true. "That's impossible," she says. "That's impossible. Don't lie to me."
I would never lie about something like this. What makes you think this is impossible?
She says, "Because that tribe is dead. That tribe is no more."
I take a bit of shock, letting this absorb for a little bit.
How do I know that you didn't steal that?
My cloak's been on this whole time, right?
Yes.
Okay. I slowly pull it back, revealing head, knobs or whatever, where horns used to be and whatnot.
As soon as she sees your horns, she stands agape again. "Well, this is interesting and completely not unexpected," she says. "You're Canary."
Yes. I believe that's what I am.
She studies you for a moment and thinks. "This was my mother's. Do you know why I ended up with this? Do you know why I am what I am?
I can't say that I do.
Because a bunch of good-for-nothing humans decided to attack her tribe and raped her. And out popped me 9 months later."
I'm trying to think about... I'm sorry, I am like...
How you would respond.
Gears are turning so fast trying to think of what I would even...
And she wasn't the only one. She starts to pace. She wasn't the only victim. Several others there as well. Innocent members of our tribe were attacked and defiled, she says. The true breeds have been a huge problem in Thetis. You will notice, by the way, out of character, that everyone on the ship seems to be a half-breed of some sort. Everyone is a half-breed.
I'm trying to just trying to comprehend again, absorb everything that I'm hearing right now. This is all rather sudden.
Is that how you respond, or is that you're just saying that out
No,
of character?
that's me telling you. That's why this is all. This is me trying to place myself in that situation, trying to think what I would say to someone telling me this as well.
You said you were found with this. Who found you? She asks. Was it another Canary tribe? Did they rescue you?
No, it was not.
Then who?
It was humans. Humans
No.
from the Free Marches.
That can't be. Why would humans care about any of us?
They were only afraid. They didn't know what they didn't know what the consequences of what would happen.
Wait, she was looking away from you and you said, then she turns back to you and says, "Wait a minute. Are you saying the same people that attacked our tribe, they found you and raised you? The ones who did what they did to my mother?"
Some of them. I assure you, those who helped me had no part in what happened to you.
Then what in the world were they doing there then?
They were trying to expand.
So this whole time they took you in and kept you as their slave? As their little pet?
No. No, they loved me. They cared for me. They did.
So you may be led to believe, she says.
If you're insinuating what I think you are.
I don't know. I don't know you.
And how do I know, and how can you say that I know you? How can I trust you in all this?
You can't. You're there with that human and that elf. The two humans and the elves. Your friends, they're friends of yours? Are they part of the people? Are they part of the people who attacked my tribe? Is that what this is?
I couldn't say. Again, what one of the humans said was true. We all were just flung into this without any say in the matter. We're all just as confused as you as why we were there. But I believe that I do not believe that they had any part in what happened to that.
I gave my word that I would allow you on my ship. I won the game fair and square. However, circumstances have changed. She thinks for a moment. Very well. Just this once I'll be lenient. I will allow you on the ship and we will drop you off at our destination. At that point, I would like for you and the rest of your group to leave.
Yes. Thank you.
She gestures you to leave the room, and as you're leaving, it looks like she's getting over to a chair, sitting down, and she pulls out a bottle of whiskey and starts to pour herself a drink.
And I guess I leave because pressing questions right now probably wouldn't help.
There's one of the crewmen is waiting for you as you leave the door. He leans his head into the doorway, and the captain, tells him to come in. He goes into the room. A few seconds later, he comes out and he says, "All right, follow me." And he will lead the three of you, or the four of you rather, down to the lower deck.
At this point, Delwyn turns to Lealden and says, "You're a Kunari?"
Yeah, Lealden, by the way, has removed his hood.
Yeah, so I came out as the hood's back on. I forgot. No, sorry. Hood's off because I didn't put it back on.
My character, this raises an eyebrow. Huh, thought so.
Well, that's unexpected.
Really?
That explains the size.
Yes, this is true. To the imaginary question, yes.
What happened to your horns?
Probably trying to blend in.
Don't push it.
Fair enough.
You guys are brought down to the lower decks. I'm just for simplicity's sake, I'm just showing you the entire area.
Mm-hmm.
The quarters, this is where most of the crew sleep over here. Mm-hmm. The mess area is over here.
Mm-hmm.
This is the kitchen area where Archer stays mostly. These are several animals that are on the ship, mostly nugs are over here, as well as other there's other animals that you think would provide some of the food. Like there's some chickens who provide eggs. There's like a cow that provides milk, and there's some horses too. The crew members take you over to the mess area, which is over here. and it looks like they're all gathering gathering for dinner because it's starting to get dark.
Well, this is
No, just because they call it a mess hall, does that mean it has to be messy?
Oh, I lost fair and square. Where's my dinner with the captain? I got robbed.
Lost fair and square. What's my?
Where did I hear that?
Also fair and square.
Come on.
After you guys get sat down, one of the crew members taps Delwyn in the shoulder and tells you to. Taps. Delwyn on the shoulder and tells him to follow him.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
By the way, did you get my whisper?
Let me go check. Thank you for clarifying.
Well,
if that was the case, I don't know if she would have. Well, maybe she would. Maybe she would have noticed. In that case, then what she would have said to Lealden was that human and that elf. She wouldn't have said those two humans and that elf.
All right.
So whether or not Lealden catches that is up to Lucky Jack.